Is hair porosity an important aspect of achieving flourishing naturally curly hair? Well, I would say yes and no. So do you know that for a very long time, I didn't know what my hair porosity was? As of now, I consider my hair medium porosity. Hair porosity has to do with our hair's ability to receive moisture and to retain that moisture, which is of course very important as far as preventing breakage and keeping our hair moisturized. Now, that also has a lot to do with the first layer of our hair strands, which is the cuticle, how open or how closed it is. And so if your cuticles are naturally more open, you're going to receive more moisture, or versus if it's closed, then it's going to be difficult for moisture to enter into your hair strands. And so that's really what all hair porosity is about. And of course, there are multiple videos on YouTube that can go into greater detail, but that's not what I'm going to be doing with this video. If you notice on my channel, I don't talk about hair porosity very often, if at all. I typically go by the fineness and the thickness of hair strands. So for example, if someone has finer hair strands, then their hair is most likely going to appreciate lighter consistency products. Whereas if someone has thicker strands, their hair is going to appreciate thicker products like creams and butters and things like that. Is it a good thing for you to know your hair porosity? Yeah, I think it's great. But I also think that sometimes when it comes to the natural hair community, we overcomplicate things, and things like knowing someone's porosity can actually become very frustrating, because the truth is that we don't just have one porosity of hair on our head. We have one major porosity, but then we have other porosities. Sometimes when we say, well, you need to know your hair porosity in order to, do this, do that, there are people who just get frustrated by that. And so my advice would be, learn your hair. Use different products on your hair and learn how your hair reacts to those products. If you notice that your hair appreciates certain products, whether thick or light, then you stick with that. Once again, I'm not saying don't know your hair porosity. If you know what it is, yeah, that's great. That's great information. But I also don't want to put people in a box and make people think, oh, if you don't know your hair porosity, then you can't make progress in your natural hair care. Because like I said, for a long time, I didn't even know what my porosity is. I mean, as I'm talking to you right now, I don't even know what my porosity is 100%. I think it's medium porosity, but by the grace of God, as you can see, my hair has been flourishing. And so I hope that this helps. And let me know in the comments section. Do you know what your hair porosity is? Do you think it's important to know your hair porosity? How has hair porosity, or the knowledge of hair porosity, played a role in your natural hair care journey? Remember that God is the designer of your hair. He intentionally designed your hair. Involve him in the process. Do what you have to do. Involve him, and your hair has no choice but to flourish. If you are looking for natural hair products that are effective and that will help your hair to flourish, our products are available and they can be used on different porosities of hair. The link will be in the description box below. Thank you. God bless.